All right, peace and love, beautiful souls, high vibrations to you all. Here we are under this full moon energy, this Aquarius full moon. It's full moons always happen. We have 13 of them throughout a year. This is why women have 13 menstrual cycles throughout the year as well. All right, so if a woman got more than 13 menstrual cycles, then you might need to see me so we can get you right because you have an irregular cycle going on there. All right. But even when we deal with the aspects of the power of the moon, y'all know how I am about the moon and how I always say, without the cycles of the woman and the cycles of the moon, we would not know life on this planet. All right. So we understand the power of the feminine and the reason why the moon is so significant, because all of us have a body. All right. I just want to clarify what the moon is and what it is not, and why people say it's a satellite, it's this, it's that, right? Because it amplifies whatever it is that it's connected to, right? That's why it's considered like a satellite in a lot of ancient, it's considered technology, right? You can't blame the moon for your mood. All it does is amplify the mood you was already in or the feelings that's been suppressed or whatever the case may be. All that's you. So the moon is just an amplifier. All right. All it does is amplify whatever is in you. Whenever you deal with a full moon, you're dealing with an illumination of an energy. All right. And of course, when we deal with a new moon, which is the beginning of a cycle, this is when the moon is at its darkest phase. So we're dealing with the beginning, just like we equate that to a woman being pregnant. When that new seed is planted, she don't always know she's pregnant. Then she miss cycles. And then next thing you know, she like, oh shit, I think I'm pregnant. But then before you know it, the stomach begins to swell. All right. Bit the stomach begins to swell automatically. My bad, it's beginning to swell automatically, dealing with her being pregnant, illuminated. So when she's 9 months, so you're just dealing with a gestation. So we can deal with the moon in our life as a gestation period. Whenever we in between cycles, the waning, the waxing, the gibbous, all the crescent, all the phases in between, right? This is going through a gestation period. So we had an illumination. The last workshop that we did was talking about Cancer because we was in a Cancer new moon. So I'm gonna be kind of touching on the womb and certain things. So if you hear me refer to something about Cancer, I'm referring to the previous moon that we were in, and how the moon was in the zodiac sign of Cancer here in the Western hemisphere. All right. So the moon in an Aquarius right now, they call this a buck moon. All right. And the reason why, even if you think about what's going on in the sky, if you pay attention, you may have been losing or gaining, losing daylight. Okay, this happens after every summer solstice. All right, so the daylight, the time is changing. Even your circadian rhythms may be changing. Your body clock, which is your circadian rhythm, the way you sleep, your sleep cycles could have been changing. This could equate to a lot to do with the influence of the moon on our bodies. All right, and also the sun, of course. All right, but the moon deals with more of an amplification of the waters of our bodies because it deals with a movement of the waters of the oceans and the waters of this earth. So it's like the four waters that connect us, and our emotions are connected to water. We are 72% water. All right. Some of us may have more water than that in our bodies, meaning you can hold on to a lot of water retention, water weight. These type of things can happen as well. So just to talk about the influence of the moon for those of you who might be trying to understand what it is, and even in the power of magic or using the moon as to move along something. The moon is very, very significant when it comes to moving into cycles. All right. So I definitely want to touch on that. Um, okay, yeah, peace and love. All right, y'all. This is that Aquarian energy is gonna bring more of a collective energy as well. So I'm gonna tap into that. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and then we're gonna go off into this PDF. And remember, in typical fashion, for those of you who want to get your personal breakdown for what this full moon means for you, make sure you book that. I believe I got everybody's breakdowns out. If not, if you pay for your breakdown, and I haven't gotten it to you, make sure you let me know. Okay, so I can get that to you. Let me get to this. I don't know how I just spelled Aquarius. Let me see here. There it is. Yep, this is it. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now, of course, the theme of this is leaving the performance and keeping the heart. You know, and this is one of the essences of Leo. It's kind of like dealing with taking center stage. A lot of y'all in this room right now, some of y'all may be aware, and some of y'all may not, based off of generational aspects of the time of your birth. You have a lot of Leo and Aquarius placements. I'm pretty sure we got some Leos in the building, of people who have North Node and Leo, North Node and Aquarius. This is going to be a significant time for you Aquarian people, for my Aquarian people, okay? Um, and then when you're dealing with the aspects of this full moon, all right, that occurred today, this is also going to be dealing with as we cycle from the Cancer energy. This is from emotional reparenting to collective liberation. See, a lot of people talk about this healing the inner child, but what is it for though? You know, all this shit sound good in rehearsal, man. Because you know, Aquarius, we gotta, you know, when you dealing with any type of people, do how many Aquarius we got in the building? We got any Aquarius in the building. Let me ask that first. Anybody in here that's an Aquarius? If not, I gotta get somebody in here that's an Aquarius. I think Blizzy in here.
My son is, he right here listening with me.
Oh, okay. Peace to the young Aquarian. All right.
He's 17, so
Ah,
you
okay.
know.
Well, he's good for explicit language then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I might get a little explicit here tonight. You know what I'm
He uses it
saying?
more. I'm sure he uses it more than me.
Listen, as an Aquarius, that boy probably cuss like a sailor. Okay,
You
I'm gonna
better
just
know
tell
it.
you
I done
straight
caught him.
See, that's the Aquarius. They're gonna be different, but they're gonna also be themselves, you know. When we dealing with liberation, this is what we dealing with Aquarian energy. This is why it rules freedom. This is the rebel. These people are naturally, that's why they're the water barriers of the zodiac. They naturally want to come with the information. They want to come. I tell people all the time, you ask Aquarius for a ride, they're gonna ask you where your car. They still gonna give you a ride. You get what I'm saying? You ask the queries for some money, they're gonna be like, "Don't you got a job?" They still gonna look out for you, but it's like they want to make sure that you are an individual first. They don't even really not always aware that they move like that. Some people with Aquarius placements, I've done over 4,000 readings. I'm telling you, people who have Venus in Aquarius, especially like a moon in Aquarius. Sometimes Aquarius, some people might be cool with it, but most of those other placements, depending on where your Aquarian energy is, you don't even like to sleep in the same bed as your spouse. Not too long. It's gonna come a night, a time when you want your freedom. You going home tonight. You know, moving in might make you cringe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that Aquarian energy, any part of you that can identify with that, I guarantee you, I can look in your chart and find an Aquarian placement, a degree, or whatever the case may be, that will fit why you have that trait. Now, people who are taking my self mastery class don't understand what I'm saying because these traits can influence us just like the planets. All right. The planets can influence us because our bodies are connected to the planets, organs are connected to the planets, different energetic expressions are connected to the planets. We have something called cell salts that is connected to the planets. All right. All these things give us a way to kind of look at ourselves from a different dynamic, from an energetic space. This is what the zodiacs and this is what this is all about. So every Aquarian might not act the same. Right? Ain't no might not. They're not gonna act the same. They might have some of the same traits, identify with some of the same shit, but they're not gonna act the same. No sign, no zodiac sign is always gonna be the same. So this full moon becomes exact, really it became exact. I should have put that approximately at 7:35, 7:36 a.m. Pacific time, which was around 9:36 Central and around 10:36 um, Eastern. All right, so this was earlier. Now we'll see it illuminated, of course, tonight. And it came in at 6 degrees, opposing the sun at 6 degrees, right? Now we also have a Jupiter Cazimi going on with a Cazimi is just all about a planet meeting with the center of the sun, meaning this planet is starting a new cycle. All right, so this is an expansion, a lot of abundance. Jupiter brings a lot of, but Jupiter got to remove some shit so you can fully trust your higher self. This is why Sagittarius people are ruled by this energy, and this is why Sagittarius could be affected by this energy as well. Basically, mutable signs themselves. Now, that's kind of more on a personal level. Like what I said, if you do want to get a full breakdown of what this full moon means for you, the transits reading that I have are $99. You can definitely book that. And I go very in depth on those. You get your own personal PDF, personal ritual, and we can schedule a call if you need to go over it with me and I can answer any questions for you. All right. This is not an eclipse, but we're having an eclipse coming up here in August. Okay. This is like a major illumination here because it arrives 3 days after the lunar node shifted into Aquarius and Leo. This is major because now the activation has happened. Now, when you're dealing with the activation of the nodes, you always going to deal with the moon because the moon kind of deals with those nodes. But nodes in your chart, the north node and the south node, can deal with where your life is going or where everything in your life is pushing you to, which is a lot of unfamiliar territory, which is the north node. And the south node could be the familiarity, the comfort zone, the things that you have already mastered in a past life or the things that are already safer, so more comfortable or convenient for you to do in this life. All right. So when you're dealing with these nodes and you're dealing with Aquarius and Leo axis, this is making it like an immediate illumination of an evolutionary curriculum. Imagine you've been going to school, right? Imagine you was in school and you probably missed a couple of days, and you come in here and you thinking that they still on the same thing that you was on, that it was on last week. You ain't get a chance to talk to none of your homegirls, none of your partners or nothing, and you just pop up in school and you got this old ass book, and they done changed books, they done changed everything. This is how the cosmos just did everybody. So for the people who still trying to carry old books, carry old ways, old thoughts, hanging with old groups. Oh, you see where I'm going with this, right? So the evolutionary curriculum has switched. That means a lot of things internally has switched, which means people going to start expressing things differently in the collective. So it's going to shape the collective through March 2028 because the node stays in a node for 18 months. And we just came out of the nodes of Pisces and Virgo. So everything we experienced in the past 18 months in relation to mental health, homelessness, daily routines, health, all these type of things going on. Sexual energy, creative energy, spirituality, religion, all these debates, all this is going on. Aquarius and Leo, like fuck all that shit. This is about lovers and friends, the collective and you, right? This is about how you integrate. This is where we at with this. This is like the whole curriculum done flipped. So it's not an eclipse, but it behaves like a preview. Okay. Because remember, we're gonna have one coming up in Leo season. Okay. So it's gonna be a threshold, like an announcement. It's like Aquarius has entered the chat. Leo has entered the chat. All right, we are in the building. Okay, just cause Leo is in the building, you gotta count us in too. What most people don't recognize is whenever you bring in a season, the opposite sign is always there lurking in the shadows. Cancer season, them Capricorns are always lurking. All right, Gemini season, Sagittarius is always lurking. You get what I'm saying? This is how opposites work in the zodiacs. All right, so people can feel certain energies even when other people are going through their seasons. Okay, it can also depend on your moon being aspected by the sun. So if you got a Sagittarius sun or Sagittarius moon, and the sun is in Sagittarius, Sagittarius season is going to affect you and impact you differently. If you are a Gemini and you are going through Sagittarius season because it opposes your sun sign, it's going to impact you differently. I'm just explaining to y'all how cycles work and how the planets work in tandem. They're never working alone. Okay. So all these planets work together all the time. That's how your body stays in the condition that it does. That's how it's able to heal itself. That's how it's able to go through rejuvenation, your cellular work. That's how your body is hardwired and it don't need your help to recreate cells and all this kind of stuff. Now you can fuck it up. You can really do that. This is what Aquarius rules, the technology of the body. Okay. See, the sky is saying the lesson has changed. We're leaving that Pisces Virgo nodal classroom of surrender, discernment, sacrifice, healing, purification, and spiritual confusion. We're now entering the Aquarius Leo classroom of individuality and community, leadership and collaboration, visibility and contribution, personal creativity and collective purpose, the need to be special and the need to belong, heart centered expression, and social responsibility. I mean, I guarantee you, if you really take a step back and say, damn, a lot of the things that have shifted in my life have shifted into this type of energy right here, right now. I'm going through something in my life in this area. If you all put a four in the chat, because four is ruled by Saturn, but we also tied to Aquarius in numerology. All right. So this full moon is the major spotlight after the shift. All right, imagine you get a spotlight put on, shine a light on them, shine a light on them. You know what I'm saying? You is the birthday. Everybody want to be the birthday until it ain't your birthday, right? What if the cosmos saying, yeah, it's your birthday? Something is rebirthing in your ass. You the birthday, okay? So it's showing cause Leo gonna make everybody feel like they the birthday. That's what Leo season gonna make it feel like. People gonna be dramatic in the motherfucker. All Leos, like, and we got any Leos in the building because Leos always feel like they are the birthday. You hear me? So when you're dealing with this full moon, this spotlight, right, is showing us what the next 18 months will demand from our identity, creativity, relationships, leadership, and participation in the collective. Because everything ain't about you, right? This is what Leos be having to learn. That's why the opposite of them is Aquarius. Everything ain't about you, Leo. Okay. See, the cycle we are completing is going to be from Cancer new moon to Aquarius full moon. Remember, I spoke on that earlier. See, the new moon on July 14th took us inward. It asked us to examine childhood conditioning, family roles, emotional memory, ancestral patterns, belonging, home, nervous system safety, their inner child, the places where we confuse familiarity with security. I'm telling you, I did a few sessions over this moon cycle, and a lot of people were going through this shit. You can't make it up. I ain't making this shit up. I didn't make up astrology. I just started studying this shit. And I really started studying people. I studied people way more than I studied the stars. I guarantee you that. Now, when we're dealing with where the sun and the moon and Mercury retrograde gather in Cancer, because that's what was happening, right? So the new moon was less about planning a completely unfamiliar. It was less about planning a completely unfamiliar future and more about rewriting the emotional story beneath the future you want. Because your nervous system, it won't accept something new if you don't rewire it. I'm gonna get into that a little later, but when you talking about your nervous system, man, that motherfucker be so jacked up. You know how people can reject something, be like, You know how we got that too good to be true. I can't believe it. Like, man, sometimes people could. I know y'all done met these kind of people in y'all life. Y'all probably got some in your life right now, or you might be the birthday. You might be the person. The type of person that can't thrive unless there's some type of chaos or drama going on. You know. See, Cancer asks, where do you belong emotionally? Now, Aquarius asks, what becomes possible once you stop organizing your life around belonging to places that require self-abandonment, going along to get along and shit. See, Cancer brought us home to ourselves, and Leo asked us to reveal ourselves. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, yeah. What that inner child? I see. This is what I say: the inner child healing. You got to get outside now. Don't all children, when they get upset, think about a child. When a child gets upset, they go through something. They're hurt. They're in pain. Whatever the case may be, right? The moment they get over it, they be like, okay, I'm all right now. Don't they go right back to doing the same shit they was doing? You be like, this goddamn. We don't do that. Man, these emotional scars and shit, man, we go to getting timid, we get afraid. Somebody robbed us of our joy, which is the inner child became dormant, out of touch with ourselves. So what you gonna do when you heal your inner child? This is why some people say healing is a lifetime. Because they never truly integrate the inner child. They never truly get back to a sense of joy. A true sense of just being who they are in this world. Something that our children innately just do. See, this cycle moves like this. Cancer healed the private self. Leo revealed the authentic self. Aquarius contribute the self to something larger. That's why I played Beyonce song Bigger. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger, baby. See, this the moment from the womb to the heart to the world. See, this is what going into the upper room was about. This is why Jesus died on the cross. That's why he represented the heart, and then they had to give himself to the world. He came from the womb. He was born, went through a life of 40 days and 40 nights and being hated and talked about. The government couldn't stand him. The people really didn't believe in him, didn't know about him. The heart, he was just too hurt. But why? Then he even got on the cross and said, "Why have thou forsaken me, Father? God damn, the world forsaken me, then you did it too, Daddy. God damn." And then after all of that, the man resurrected and say, "I'm gonna give myself to the world." I'm just telling you about the parables of the man Jesus, the Christ, because it awakened the God in him. So this full moon polarity that Leo sun opposite Aquarius moon. See, this is every full moon creates an opposition. It's why I tell people you were born during the full moon, you have an opposition. Your whole chart could be opposing each other. People who live in that opposition can be going through a lot of internal shit that can equate to an external life that can seem like it's hard for them. But the beauty of an opposition is once you bring 180 with 180, you get 360 degrees of knowledge. See, the sun illuminates one side of the human experience. The moon reveals the emotional consequence on the other side. Everything you do gonna equate to something that you're gonna have to feel. Hence, what you think and what you feel are never separate. You might think they are. People actually think that their thoughts and their emotions are not connected to each other because they think since they have the capacity to move without allowing the emotion to stop them, the guilt, the shame. See, all this is Leo shit. How people can still show up, even though internally they feel the guilt, the shame, the embarrassment, all the things that come with us being human, every emotion that's on this human spectrum. So, what are we integrating here? See, See, the moon is going to always reveal the emotional consequence on the other side. See, here the sun is in Leo, the moon is in Aquarius. This is what we talking about. This is just what the sun and moon going to do no matter what sign they're attached to. You understand? See, Leo says, I am, I create, I shine, I want to be seen, I lead from my heart, I deserve recognition. Aquarius says, we are, we innovate, we collaborate, we challenge the system, we build the future. But why do most Aquarian people don't like people? You see they challenge? You see the Leo? You can't make this shit. A lot of Aquarian people don't really like being around people. They really you can't make this shit up, man. See, no one person is greater than the whole. Neither sign is wrong. It's just the initiation. The initiation is integration. That's gonna be for every sign. See, we do not need to extinguish the individual to serve the community. We do not need to dominate the community to validate the individual. Don't this shit go on all the time in communities? Don't y'all just see? Didn't y'all just see Ryan Clark get fired on ESPN? And the man literally said out of his mouth, "Man, the community they just love me." And then another older person, Michael Whitlock on ESPN, talking about, see, this what's wrong. Y'all be doing stuff for the community, and then you lose your job, and then you crying on TV, this and that, this and that. People are torn in between. Do I do this for me? Because the community gonna be, they'll tear you down. The crowd will turn on you. Leo, they'll cheer for you and boo for your ass in the same goddamn set. You hear me? Do you have the individuality to still? You see how this shit work? You cannot have one without the other, or you're going to be operating in some type of imbalance. People extinguish. This can happen in relationships all the time. I lost myself. I was not myself. So we constantly fighting with this outside validation and how do I remain me? And sometimes your community ain't but two, three people. I ain't even talking about people who polygamous and don't know it and shit like that now. Don't get me into that. But this is what can happen with this type of energy because Leo is a sexual energy and going to be overindulging because you want your cake and eat it too, right? See, The mature question becomes, how do I allow my uniqueness to benefit the collective without requiring the collective to revolve around me? God damn. I heard people, don't nobody support me, don't nobody do this, don't nobody do that. Hey, I done had them feelings too. My Jupiter's in Leo. But the moment the way my Jupiter set up and the way my high self set up with a Sagittarius rising, the moment I even think like that, I'd be like, man, fuck them people. Shit, Jay-Z just sold out his concerts. Shit, Beyonce put a price on her tickets. Motherfucker saved three paychecks. I'm out here giving life changing information. The motherfucker think I'm overcharged. Think I'm trying to sell. Hell yeah, I'm trying to sell. Motherfuckers out here selling you a feeling. You see how the Leo go? This is what entertainment is about. It's like some people want to be entertained. They don't want to be taught. They don't want to be this. People tired of being taught lessons. This is where we are. People want to be entertained. See, so the spiritual center of this lunation, because the shadow of Leo, because Leo represents, see, healthy pride. You got to get this. Don't miss this right here. Courage, warmth, creativity, play, visibility, and heart-centered leadership. This is what Leo wants to bring. But the shadow can become performance, entitlement, attention, addiction, attention whores. That's what I started to put, but I ain't want to go too wild, okay? Attention addiction, because people don't know attention is an addiction, especially in the social media area that we live in now. A motherfucker pull out a phone and go live before they help you. Why you think they doing that? Oh, look at all the views I got. You over here dying. Motherfucker got a smartphone in their hand. They could have Googled and it would have told them exactly what to do. Person laying here just got hit by a car. Person just got shot, bleeding out of mouth, bleeding out of leg. What do I do? All the time they took the type of title or just go live and say, I'm just telling where we at now. Dramatizing pain to secure validation. Oh my God. Now I kind of left this a little. Yeah, y'all know I could have got a whole lot more, you know, people be so dramatic and turn their pain into some type of sympathy tool, manipulation tool, right? It's confusing popularity with purpose. Now I'm gonna tell you this, boy, if this shit right here is not a pandemic, some people think because they popular, because they streamers, they this, that they have a purpose in this life. And the way social media is set up, people have really begun to believe that them going live and doing certain things every day is really serving a purpose when you really ain't nothing but a pop-up. People don't understand how they ain't nothing but ads right now. I ain't gonna get into that. But when you need applause before trusting your gift, you need everybody to validate it before you trust it in you. That's like you need everybody to tell you that God is real before you trust the God in you. That's just really how that go. Right? Because when you talk about somebody want to dominate the room, interpreting collaboration as competition, there's a lot of that out here. It's a lot of competition. There ain't a lot of collaboration. I've been a part of it. I've collaborated with people who I ain't have to work with. I can teach and do shit all by myself. I done heard motherfuckers mad because I did a motherfucking class that went 16 weeks instead of 13. Cause I'm big about making sure I overgive and making sure people walk away with some shit. And maybe it wouldn't have went so long if you wouldn't have added all yo. See what I'm saying? See, I can get real Leo. My Jupiter's in Leo. I've been feeling it. So this fuck around and find out season. I might just go, y'all might hear about me crashing out. No, I'm just talking. I'm just bullshitting. See, the South Node entering Leo does not mean we must eliminate Leo quality. See, it means we must release the exhausted, the distorted, the karmically overused expressions of Leo. See, we're not releasing creativity. We are releasing the need to create only for praise. We're not releasing leadership. We're releasing leadership that cannot share power. We're not releasing visibility. We are releasing dependence upon visibility as proof of worth. We are not releasing the heart. We are purifying the heart of its hunger to be constantly confirmed. That shit creates a craving because most shit don't live in people's hearts. It live in their head. When something live in your head, that means your heart will always crave it. See, this is the same thing with love. Some people don't know love, they crave it. And see, you got to understand the insatiable appetite that can come with this type of energy. When you're not truly present to experience something in its totality. So all you want is pieces of it in moments. So of course you're going to abuse it. You see how abuse starts, and not even aware of the consequences because they don't matter because it feels good. See, see when we release this, that hunger. See, this is what purifying is the heart is about. This is why the comedics used to always put the heart inside of the body and leave and take all the other organs out. Because if you purified this was living in Maya. This was living in truth and justice and reciprocity. This is where they get all of the Ten Commandments of the Bible from. And see, and with the North Node and Aquarius, the future requires new forms of belonging. See, on July 26th, the North Node entered Aquarius while the South Node enters Leo, and the beginning a nodal cycle lasting until March the 26th, 2028. That nodal axis shift our developmental focus towards innovation, networks, collective organization, and humanitarian participation, while exposing pride, celebrity worship, and self-leadership patterns that are ready to be released. The North Node is tradition associated with appetite, increase, unfamiliar growth, and a direction that stretches your consciousness. See, Aquarius asks us to grow through community, friendship, technology, science, networks, social reform, collaboration, decentralization, unconventional solutions, intellectual freedom, humanitarian vision, liberation from group conditionings. All of that going along to get along, all that saying yes with your lips, no with your heart, all that trying to be accepted by people that you know damn well don't like you, they don't want to work with you. They don't even they change when you come around. It's just I'm telling you, this shit is a trip when you really play it out. Cause all them people who done picked a side, cause most of the people that's done got so called, cause you gotta understand Aquarius deals with exile and shit. See, most of this shit happened when Pluto went in retrograde. People didn't even recognize what the fuck was going on. Most of these people started exiling people and saying they cutting people off real hard when Pluto went in retrograde, right? Now, since Pluto is tied up with this moon and we're going into Aquarius even over the next 6 months, this moon is basically saying, did you make a mistake? Because maybe you alienated somebody based off the wrong information. Uranus and Gemini, misinformation. And maybe it changed your mood, but now this moon is saying, I'm feeling a little bit, wait a minute, hold on. This group over here, they everything that they say they not. Wait a minute, I'm starting to feel something different about these people. See, that's that Leo sun. It's finna expose a lot of fake teachers, a lot of fake community, fake friendships. You understand what's going on right here? Motherfuckers who act like they for humanity, but then on the other side of it, they on the phone with somebody or in the background and secret chats and shit. Ooh, I can't stand when they come in here. Oh, I can't like them. See, that's why a motherfucker got to get mad at me. Cause you can't go to put me in those silent group chats and all this old shit, and we out in the same space. Hey man, what's the problem here, man? Let's sit at the table and see what's really going on. People ain't ready for that, but guess what? I ain't even got to do it no more. The planet's got me now. I ain't got to do it no more. Aquarius and Leo, it's gonna make it happen. With Pluto there, yeah, all these people been avoiding those conversations and trying to hide and playing in people's face, and they don't really like you. And then you come around, hey, how you doing? Y'all know how y'all got some fake ass family members. They fake in the collective just like that too. I'm gonna tell you, in the spiritual community, they're so fake like that. So fake, so fake. See, but Aquarius also has a shadow, but we got to be careful not to romanticize it, because Aquarius can become emotionally detached, contrarian for the sake of appearing different. See, intellectually arrogant, addicted to technology, disconnected from the body, loyal to ideology, but unavailable to actual people, absorbed in the collective causes while neglecting personal relationships. Whoa, 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 hold up, man. Wait a minute, hold on, man. So you mean to tell me motherfuckers out here advocating for shit while their home is not in order? Wait a minute, hold on, man. So you mean to tell me motherfuckers is all on the shade room and shit commenting on people relationships with they mamas and sisters and brothers and lovers and things, and they ain't got no good relationship with they mamas and lovers and brothers? You mean to tell me that's actually happening out here? That don't go on. Somebody tell me that am I tripping? Do that go? I know that don't happen. Rebellious without constructive vision. A rebel without a goddamn cause. Trapped in another form of group thinking. I know so many people don't even realize they trapped in group thinking. Can't even think for themselves. And one person don't like you, I don't like them either. If I don't want to learn this, now we don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. Stay away from all that. We don't do that over here, people. Because I'm telling you, that North Node is going to amplify hunger. See, because so during this cycle, people may become hungry for community. Yeah, I thought I was finna talk about some food, right? Yeah. That end now, don't forget, we talking about attention now. Platforms, movement, technology, online reach, social influence. But hunger without discernment can produce new forms of conformity. It's so many people think they are living in some type of intellectual freedom, but they just don't conform to the way social media and the algorithm need you to be. Aquarius does not merely ask which group do you belong to. It asks, can you think independently while participating collectively? Can you still bring an individuality to the collective? Because that's where integration happens. Actually, there can be no integrity if you don't know who you are as an individual. Because you won't ever know when to take the eye out. See, see, this full moon is like a nodal into this that north node. Shit, it just happened, right? See, symbolically, this is the cosmos turning on the lights in the room that we've just entered, type shit, right? Imagine somebody set the stage and then you go off in the house and then the lights come on. You like, oh shit, and you suddenly start to recognize which friends are no longer support your evolution, which communities depend on conformity, where we have edited ourselves to remain accepted, where our future is asking for new collaborators, where our public image has become more important than our actual contribution, where goals were designed to impress others rather than fulfill us, where individual pride is preventing collective progress, where group approval has replaced personal integrity. As long as they accept me, it's cool. Damn, I don't want to make them mad. Walking on eggshells around motherfuckers because you know they tyrants. They ain't for the people. See, the full moon may bring a culmination of revelation or a turning point around friendships, teams, organizations, online communities, audience, social networks, and long range plans. But see, full moons illuminate what already exists. I told y'all that. But has not yet been fully acknowledged. Keep playing like these people. See, this is like, you know how them people be saying, all right, I keep on trying to tell y'all they were like this. And then they finally do it to you. And you like, oh shit. They told me they was like this. It's a thin line between that shit though. Cause most of the time people run to you because they don't want to see you with the other person. Cause now you're gonna truly learn how they are. See, you gotta have discernment out of playing with these people, man. Cause people ain't gonna always be authentic and transparent. So who gotta remain that way? You do. It's an individual thing. You can't escape that. Cause you can't stop people from lying. You can't stop people from being fake. You can't stop none of that shit. All you can do is maintain your individuality so you will know when to pivot. So keep sitting around people who you know talk about other people and don't talk to them and then get surprised when you them fuck around and find out. See, when we dealing with this Pluto energy, it's like that's why it's opposing the sun right now. That's why this one highlights the tension between Leo's personal radiance and Aquarius's commitment to the group. Cause it's gonna make all those people who been acting like they so committed to the group start saying they need time away from y'all. And they the ones been doing this shit every day, coming on here now. Or they gonna start being dramatic and start talking about how they tired of it and trying to make you feel guilty because they making a choice to come sit around you every day. Because they making a choice to say, I'm doing this to build community, but I don't think y'all really being receptive. I don't really think y'all really, man, what the fuck? Like, see, if you're really in a healthy sense of this, even if it's one or two people there, but let the people get a little popularity. All that shit change, man. Let them think they got some. See, that's why the collective shadow is already waiting. Pluto is already retrograde in Aquarius. This full moon arrives with this Pluto, and it represents power, control, death, rebirth, compulsion, buried truth, psychological shadow. the corruption, the purification, the destruction of forms that can no longer contain evolution. Aquarius governs systems, networks, technology, movement, social organizations, and collective ideology. Pluto in Aquarius is therefore exposing where power hides inside the collective. This includes technology companies, algorithms, digital surveillance, online influences, political movements, social organizations, communities built around ideology. All right. The manipulation of group emotion. Whoever it is, can you mute your mic for me? Thank you. The concentration of power and size supposedly decentralizes the systems because when all this energy can't exist in these groups no more, there's a lot of tension that's going on there. It's like imagine a ticking time bomb. Because Pluto is in retrograde, it's like the investigation turns more inward now. People are gonna. It's like people been looking for an outside thing, but the problem and the motherfucker might have been right around you the whole time. See, we're asked to examine our personal relationship with collective power. Who influences what I believe? How much of my identity is shaped by the audience? Am I participating in community or seeking social protection? Do I question information before repeating it? Have I confused widespread argument with truth? Do I want to transform the system or secretly become powerful within it? See, this is how a lot of people don't start moving. I can't beat them, join them, right? A lot of people do not question information before they, I've seen so many people share shit that was AI, that was not real, just because they wanted to believe it. People are jumping on shit because it sound good. That's how we got a lot of fake ass doctors out here. That's how we got a lot of people that can put doctor in front of their name and go out here and talk a person's terminology, and because you don't know it, you think they're a real doctor, and then somebody come along and say, "Oh, they don't got no degree." See, this all that shit finna happen. Cause all these people they can't hear, but somebody got to play lawyer out here. See, it's like somebody got to always step in and say this motherfucker ain't who they say they is. See, and it's like even when you think about this, and this is where a lot of people are. This is not paranoia; it is conscious participation. Okay, because a lot of times people are participating in shit and they're doing it consciously, and then they're mad at somebody else in the process of them doing it. And with the moon conjunct Pluto, this is like an emotional revelation meets the underworld. And that Aquarius moon is joined by Pluto during this lunation, intensifying its emotional, psychological impact. Because the sun is simultaneously close to Jupiter in Leo, right? That's that Cazimi. And this is why the full moon configuration forms supportive connection with Uranus and Neptune. And a Pluto conjunction can expose what has been suppressed beneath social behavior. We could witness intense reactions within groups. I'm talking about motherfuckers just imploding. Pay attention to what's going on. I'm telling you right now, right? Hidden loyalties and shit. People who you didn't even know the whole time was plotting or they had been loyal the whole time to each other. Power struggles amongst friends or organizations, collective grief, sudden awareness of manipulation, fear of exclusion, emotional obsession, and with social approval. Truths emerging around leadership, the collapse of false community identity. This gonna drive a lot of y'all. Look, it's gonna drive a lot of people crazy. I'm telling you right now. A lot of people finna go into inclusion. A lot of people finna say, like it's almost like who watched that Nature Boy experience, right? It's like people gonna be experiencing some shit like, man, the whole time. Oh man, I was a part of this and I ain't know it. This person was doing this and I ain't know it. Right? So Aquarius often appears emotionally detached. Pluto reveals where a detachment has been protecting. See, a lot of people don't emotionally detach. They just become numb to some shit. And see, some people say they do not care what anyone thinks, while secretly organizing their entire identity around being perceived as different. Imagine somebody who say they don't care what nobody think, but everything they do is to prove how different they are. Man, one of the most contradictory things that you can witness people do to themselves. Some say they're independent, but fear emotional intimacy. Some reject belonging before belonging has the opportunity to reject them. Like it's like I'm gonna say, you know what? That's all right. I don't even want to do this because and secretly I'm going to reject the opportunity that you can have to reject me. See, the full moon asks, is my detachment freedom or unprocessed fear wearing intellectual clothing? Just a dressed up, hurt, unhealed individual. And it's okay, because it's a lot of like shit. That's why I do what I do. Shit. You know, healing time, baby. And the sun conjunct that Jupiter because the heart becomes larger. See across the sky, and the sun, Leo, and the sun is closer to Jupiter. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. In Leo, Jupiter magnifies confidence, creativity, performance, generosity, leadership, visibility, joy, self-expression, pride, and charisma. This can be beautiful. It can inspire courage, bold, creative decisions, and a willingness to occupy space. Take up space, sis. Take up space, right? But Jupiter can also magnify excess. The shadow can become inflated ego, exaggeration, grandiosity, attention hunger, entitlement, overcompromising, excessive spending to maintain an image, right? It's a lot of fire sign shit, especially Aries and Leo. Confusing charisma with integrity. See, the question is not whether you should shine. The question is, what is your light in service to? If your visibility only feeds your identity, the South Node in Leo will eventually expose the emptiness beneath the applause. So, for people who are using the crowd only to feel good about themselves, eventually we're going to see where they truly empty are when they don't get the applause. If your visibility helps awaken, inspire, organize other than North Node and Aquarius gives your radiance a collective purpose. I'm here for it. You better goddamn know it. And see, with that Jupiter opposite Pluto, the personal power versus collective power. It's kind of like what we got going on with these opposition with Jupiter and Pluto. Okay, the Jupiter Pluto opposition surrounding this whole lunation intensifies the battle between Leo and Aquarius, right? Because Jupiter and Leo says expand the individual, right? Pluto and Aquarius says transform the system, though. Right? It's like, God damn, I thought I was here to have fun. I thought I was here to chill. I thought I was here to look good. Leo shit. I thought I was here to take center stage and take up space. Now you telling me I gotta do something for other people? I don't want to transform the system. What if I'm cool with the system the way it is? What if I don't make money out the system? What if I'm already conformed to the system? What if I don't see no need to change the system? What if I feel like people need to change their motherfucking self? What if I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with the system? Everything's straight with the system. People just need to change the way they do shit. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of people in this struggle because this can bring struggle involving leadership and communities, creators and platforms, celebrities and audiences, governments and citizens, personal brands and collective movements, ambition and ethics, influence and manipulation, recognition and accountability. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be a thin line between all of this shit. Imagine somebody getting recognized and on the background saying, "This motherfucker just stole from me." And they up there like smile to everybody like, "This is a humanitarian, this is a philanthropist, boom, boom, boom." Don't we see it in movies all the time? Stop playing with these people. Motherfuckers be giving away shit to certain people only to hide the fact that they steal from everybody else. That's politics. So what you think finna be happening with these politicians, man? I'm just saying, like, this shit finna get real. I'm telling y'all, this shit is gonna bring some type of civil war, some type of man say, cause this shit finna get real thick out here. People finna be real mad. Y'all thought people were mad when they thought, man, y'all see Fauci on trial. The motherfucker just played the fifth today. So it's the system against the system. And it's like people against people. And people don't understand that how on a personal level you got to ask yourself, do I want power to contribute or to compensate? Do I want recognition because my work is ready, because or because my wound is hungry? Can I become more visible without believing I am more important? Can I participate in the collective change without surrendering my discernment? See, this opposition can produce extraordinary transformation when power is handled consciously, but it can also reveal how easily a wounded ego uses spiritual, political, or humanitarian language to hide domination. See, and when you look, we're gonna look at the outer geometry of what's going on here because It's like the future is trying to be being born when I look at this. It's like the full moon is harmonizing with Uranus and Neptune, offering these pathways beyond the power struggle. Because Uranus and Gemini, Uranus rules, right? Aquarius in modern astrology, its movement through Gemini accelerates changes involving language, education, communication, media, artificial intelligence, transportation, nervous system stimulation, information exchange, the speed at which ideas travel. Uranus and Gemini asks us to update how the fuck we think, not merely what we think. It wants you to update how you think. You got to awaken some shit inside of you to do that. You got to really get to the root and ask yourself why you think the way you think. And that supportive collection of to that full moon can bring sudden realizations, right? New collaboration, technological opportunities, or unexpected solutions to an old collective problem. Imagine something been going on around you and the groups and the people that you know. This is gonna happen. Something like this gonna happen too in the media. Watch and see what I'm telling you in the next 2 weeks, right? Some type of solution gonna come along for something that's been going on for a long ass time. Like finally they figured that out. You know, they energy of finally. Shit, by time, it's gonna be a lot of that going on. Okay, because when you're dealing with this, innovation must be paired with discernment. Fast information is not automatically wise information. Just because it came fast, just because Chat GPT can give you a lot of answers and shit. So when we dealing with Neptune and Aries spiritualizes identity, courage, action, and the right to initiate. The retrograde, it asks us to examine the dream beneath our personal mission. While we acting from genuine inspiration or protecting heroic identity onto ourselves. Right? Can you mute the mic for me? Thank you. Hold on. Hold up, y'all. Let me do this real quick. Let me see who that was. Oh, thank you, whoever that was, for muting for me. Thank you. All right, here. My bad, y'all. Let me do that. I forgot to do this on my host tools. I got to mute upon entry participants. Wait a minute. Where was it? Okay, hold on, y'all. Host tools. Oh, settings. There it is. Okay. I think that did it. All right. Let me start back sharing the screen, y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right. All right. So the Neptune retrograde in Aries is asking us spiritual. This is about spiritual identity. This is like the warrior. You put Neptune here. This is going to bring more of wanting action at the right to the right initiate. You know what I'm saying? Retrograde is asking us to examine a dream beneath our personal mission. Are we acting from genuine inspiration or projecting a heroic identity onto ourselves? Everybody want to be a motherfucking hero. Everybody want to be bigger than what they are till it's time to be the villain. You know, that's normally how it go. It's always the story of the hero and the villain, right? See, Neptune can dissolve the fantasy of the lone savior. You know, this matters enormously because Aquarius Leo axis, the future cannot be built by everyone trying to become the chosen one. Everybody can't be the chosen goddamn one. Everybody want to be the chosen people. Now we done went from the Israelites. Now we the people of Lumeria. We done went from Africa to Kemet, from slavery to we won slaves to indigenous people. Everybody trying to be chosen. Everybody want to be a chosen people, God's people. Yeah, it's all type of shit going on with this psychosis, if you ask me. See, When we dealing with this, it requires people willing to contribute their piece without needing to own their entire vision. That's why it's so hard for us to move forward as a collective. That's why a lot of shit always fold. People are always gonna think about what you getting versus what they getting. Fuck what we getting. People start to think about you and I, and then we lose the we every time. And then not realizing how many people finna be affected because y'all fell out. We were doing the whole movement, but these two motherfuckers started getting into it and doing their thing, and every next thing you know, the whole movement just fell apart. I'm telling you, shit happens all the time. That's why I don't take but one person to infiltrate. It's all it take, man. And see, where Uranus and Neptune and Pluto together, the outer planets, form a long-term transformational pattern involving new technology, new spiritual language, new social structures, new forms of leadership, new approaches to identity and community. The full moon makes those generational themes emotionally visible. We're not simply discussing the future, okay? We're feeling the discomfort of being capable of living it. Because when you talking about being able to live in the future, right? That shit can be uncomfortable if you're not present for that experience. Cause it's gonna pull you into something new. It's about stretching you, right? It's gonna be a little uncomfortable in order for us to move into the future. Right? You gotta see that means your comfort zone's gotta be broken. I seen a young lady who was talking about she burnt the counter. She was asking for a new home, asked spirit for a new home. And she had burnt the counter, did a little manifestation or whatever, went on YouTube and did something, and lit her account and asked for spirit to manifest her a new home. And about 2 weeks later, her house burned down. She ended up getting a new home, but you gotta be careful what the fuck you ask,
Dang,
right? She ended up getting a new home. I ain't bullshitting. She ended up getting no, but her house burned down. She ended up getting a new home. So when you
uh,
this is what this energy is like about right now. Your words carrying power. And especially with Saturn retrograde in Aries, leadership must be reassessed because Saturn stations retrograde here in Aries. It did that on July 26th, the same day the nose entered Aquarius and Leo. It remains in retrograde until after December the 10th. So it's like a review of responsibility, leadership, autonomy, and the structure supporting our ambitions. A lot of times we have ambition, but we won't have no real structure to support it, right? See, Aries wants to begin, but Saturn asks, do you have the discipline to continue though? See, I'm telling y'all right now, I got Saturn and Virgo. This shit is so real because it can ask you, do you Aries like you want to start something new? Let's be innovative. Saturn say, hold the fuck on. Do you got the discipline to keep doing what the fuck you been doing? And Aries says, I know who I am, right? Saturn says, has that identity been tested though? God damn. You see how Saturn be doing? You see how why people say Saturn always restricting, opposing? Cause just when you think you know what the fuck going on, Saturn is always there, like father time. Like it's like that mother energy. It's like you don't know which one you gonna get. You don't know if mama finna be on your side, daddy gonna be on your side. You don't know who finna tell you that ain't right for you to do. If somebody gonna say, yeah, you can do. Like Saturn is just in ancient times, it plays a mother archetype. In modern astrology, they tie it to a father. But I understand why, because you're trying to put gender to a planet, which is insane to me. Right? You can't put gender to a planet. It's just the expression of a feminine or a masculine principle, which equates to an inward or outward action. This is beyond the physical essence of man or woman. See? So you can know who you are, but if that shit ain't been tested, you don't know who the fuck you is. Right? And you can want to begin something, but you ain't got the discipline to keep it going once you start it. A lot of Aries start shit, but don't have the follow through to keep it going. You gotta have how many things you done started and ain't finished? How much shit you done bought and how many things you done invested in and ain't followed through with it? This is what Saturn and Aries is
don't make
saying.
no mess, mama.
That's why Saturn and Aries is saying it might be some things you already started but didn't fully follow through that you need to go back and do. Okay. So during this full moon, Saturn retrograde becomes part of the accountability protocol. See, it's some accountability going on. You may have a vision, but does it have structure? You may want leadership, but can you accept responsibility? You may want independence, but can you regulate yourself without blaming the group? Aquarius need strong individuals, but strong individuals are not really loud, rebellious, or self-certain. They are accountable. People miss this shit. Shit sound good when you able to, oh, I'm this, I'm that. And then the moment you fuck over somebody or do something and you know you wrong, I just cut them off. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, Mr. or Mrs. Self-aware. Okay, bit. See, when you dealing with Mercury direct in Cancer, because Mercury came out of retrograde, for those of you who do not know, okay? The emotional message behind Mercury moving forward, Mercury stays direct in Cancer right after the full moon, well, before the full moon through it, though it remains in Cancer, it's like a post retrograde. You get a shadow retrograde energy into early August with this. The Cancer retrograde period brought us back through family memories, emotional conversations, childhood interpretations, attachment patterns, old names, places, unresolved exchanges. As Mercury turns direct, whereas to carry forward the insight rather than recreate the conversations. I ain't got to keep having the same goddamn conversation about how I feel or why I felt it or the shit that you done did and you don't want to be accountable for it. What did the emotional review teach me about the communities and relationships I now choose? I don't got to keep revisiting this shit. What have I learned about it? What have I learned from it? See, Cancer examined the family of origin, right? Aquarius examines the family of consciousness. Some people are related to us by blood, others are related to us by relation, which is values, vision, and integrity. I mean, stop me when I'm lying. Everybody that you consider family is not your blood, right? So it's just like what Biggie say. We
Okay, what's
some
going
I'm
on?
related to some people by blood and others by relation. All right. So this full moon may clarify the difference. You gonna know the difference between who is who after this full moon. All right. Because this full moon is happening in the sixth degree, and that deals with responsibility of independence because that 6 degrees is associated with responsibility, relationship, harmony, caregiving, community, service, and the consequence of our choices upon others. Okay. That 6 degrees is asking, how does my individuality affect the whole? I know because my Jupiter is in 6 degrees and I got a couple other things in 6 degrees, and I was born on the sixth day. So this is not individuality, our responsibility. It is responsible uniqueness. See, when you know who the fuck you are, there is responsibility that come with that. See, because if you know who the fuck you are, you can also know that everything ain't always about you. People say they know who the fuck they are, but they are unwilling to integrate. Can't have one without the other. See, it's to understand that freedom does not mean living without consequences. See, freedom means having enough self-awareness to choose consciously. And we have an Aquarius duad, which is a more of a lower aspect of a degree. Every degree has a shadow side. Let me just say it like that. This can bring in Aries beneath the Aquarius moon. Even though we got Aries tied in with Neptune and Saturn, this degree brings in an Aries duad, which is like we're using a 12-fold system. 6 degrees Aquarius carries an Aries undertone. Okay, the duads were created by the Kemetic sciences of astrology. All right, if you want to look up what a duad is. Okay, Aquarius is fixed earth. Aries is cardinal fire. Aquarius sees the future. Aries initiates it. Don't get this shit twisted. Aquarius organized the group. Aries gives the group courage to begin. It's one thing to have a group behind you, but most of the time, people waiting to see what the fuck you gonna do. Oh, big, now we can do it. See, that creates revolutionary frequency. See, but it's a shadow that can become impulsive rebellion. Not every disruption is liberation. Not every refusal is sovereignty. Not every argument is activism. The mature expression asks, what action does the future require from me right now? Not someday, not when everybody agree, not when I think I'm ready. Now, today, not tomorrow. See, and a Leo duad is Libra beneath the sun. See, this is why we're talking Libra earlier. When y'all heard me talking Libra earlier, a lot of people ain't gonna give you this, but I'm finna give you this right here. The sun at the 6 degrees with the Leo carries a Libra duad. Leo wants authentic expression. Libra wants relationship, balance, justice, and maturity. See, and it wants that maturity, and it wants to reveal the deeper lesson. See, your light must learn how to relate. Your confidence must coexist with consideration. Can I light your light? Can I help? Can I, if I'm on stage and the crowd is loving on me, can I invite you up there? Or am I gonna pull a Prince on your ass like he did Michael Jackson and go play my motherfucking guitar in front of your VIP and let everybody know I'm a bad motherfucker? Y'all know Prince did Michael Jackson like that. But when we're dealing with this energy, all right, it's like your confidence gotta coexist with consideration, right? Your leadership must create room for others' voices. You know, your self-expression must not require another person's disappearance. So beneath the obvious Leo Aquarius opposition sits another polarity,
Kimura,
Aries and Libra. Y'all seen the play? That individual and the relationship, self-direction and cooperation,
Leo,
initiative
I'm
and
listening to something right
consciousness.
now.
Because when you're dealing with the full moon, it activates two intersecting axes, Leo and Aquarius, personal radiance and collective participation, Aries and Libra, sovereignty and leadership. The entire sky asks, can you remain fully yourself while participating ethically with others? Can you do it with balance, truth, reciprocity? Can you do it knowing that I'm being relational and not transactional? Can you move through your life this way? Do you go places and you don't know none of these people's name, but you see them every day because you don't give a damn because they work here? Well, I gotta be friends with them. This is the type of energy I'm talking about. People say that they love, but being loving is the key with this. When the heart is full to express, the cup begins to run over. You move into the upper room. So it's not your love for something, it's your love of something, right? And that's why they say the love of money is the root of all evil. See, so if it exists in your head, once again, it is not in your heart, it will
That's
only
a top of
crave it. So even when we're dealing with this numerology of this day, because you add up this day energy equals a one. All right. This represents
You got
beginning,
trash back there?
leadership,
Give
independence,
me a trash.
identity, initiation. Can you mute your mic for me, please? Thank you.
Shh.
Initiation, courage, direction. But the calendar day is a 29. It's carrying 11 and 2 vibration. That 29 reduced to 11 and 2. The 11 is the illuminator. All right. The 2 is the relationship and the cooperation. Okay. So we begin to see the same cosmic equation. One, be yourself. Two, learn to coexist. 11, let the awareness become. You can't miss these. Don't play with these numbers now. You can't miss it, right? See, the full moon is not asking you to dissolve into the collective. It's asking you to bring a conscious self into conscious relationship with the collective. Now, in order for me to give you how that plays out in your life personally, I would have to be looking at your chart. I would have to know, and I would be looking. I'm gonna give you another key I'll be looking for. I would have to be looking for whatever is in 6 degrees in your chart. Now I want to touch on those 6 degree placements and how Libra and Aries is playing out in your chart. So when I give transits reading, this is how layered they are. Because transit speaks to layers that are influencing you. It's not just the moon. You got so much shit that the moon amplifies when it shifts into a sign, especially with a full moon or a new moon, the super moons and eclipses and things like this. So I don't know what's being illuminated in your chart. I don't know exactly where these lunations, where these transits are touching and hitting points in your chart. All right. So once again, if you want the individual breakdown, make sure you book that for $99. And if you want to get this PDF, I'm just doing $22 for it. All right. So if you do want the PDF, it's just $22. I do have a ritual in here. It's not as layered as I normally make them because just to be straight up, it would seem like it was wasting my time because people weren't really even paying for it anyway. So I wasn't finna keep doing that. So I don't have all the signs broke down. If you want that, you're gonna have to get your individual reading. All right. So the mythological layer of this is the water bearer and the lion. Don't miss this right here, okay? Because this water bearer and this lion, Aquarius symbolize the water bearer. Aquarius is the sign is the earth sign, right? But its symbol carries water. The water represents wisdom, consciousness, and life force being poured into the collective. This is why in a lot of astrological schools of thought, a lot of people who study ancient astrology, a lot of ancient astrology schools of thought, I would say, would put Aquarius as the sign that started a lot of the signs. Okay, basically saying that the sun in the constellation of Aquarius is where the zodiacs were born. So a lot of ancient astrology, the Babylonian things like this, they talk about how the zodiac of Aquarius is where the sun began to pour information into the other 12 zodiacs. Okay, hence why it represents the number 11. Okay, so this is when you're dealing with the earth sign energy, and the water represents wisdom, constant life force being poured into the collective. The water bearer does not hoard the vessel, it distributes what humanity needs. Leo is the lion, the sovereign heart. This is why you see the lion, the sphinx, because actually the sphinx in Egypt, in Kemet, which we know today is Egypt, with the head of the pharaoh, actually represents the age of Leo, and it represents Virgo moving into Leo with the head, because you have to have some type of awareness of yourself to govern your animalistic instincts. See, that's why Leo is the lion, the sovereign heart, the solar ruler, the courage to stand visibly in one's identity. Mythologically, initiation is not the death of the lion. The lion learning that the kingdom is not personal possession, is not its personal possession. The water bearer must also learn that distributing wisdom does not require abandoning the heart. Without Leo, Aquarius can become cold. Without Aquarius, Leo can become self-absorbed. Y'all see the play here? They create heart-led collective intelligence together. See? The collective world, astrologically, this axis represents or places emphasis on social movements, leadership changes, digital communities, the influence of technology, questions of public recognition, celebrity and political culture, youth movements, creative expression, decentralization, collective organization, freedom of speech, group identity, the ethics of artificial intelligence, public accountability. Pluto in Aquarius intensifies power, questionable inside technology and social organization. Jupiter in Leo magnifies charismatic personalities. So the node suggests that over the coming 18 months, audiences may become less willing to place leaders, entertainers, or influencers on untouchable pedestals. The nodal cycle specifically emphasizes questioning prideful leadership and strengthening collective networks. So the central collective question becomes: do we want heroes or accountable human beings capable of personal full moon inventory of expressing, chasing followers instead of building community, gaining in groups that punish originality, craving recognition from people who do not share your values, over identifying with people with being different, over identifying with being different, emotionally detached instead of communicating, centering yourself inside of every collective issue, suppressing your creativity to remain accepted, following the crowd while calling it belonging. Especially issue. Heavy on that. I should have put that motherfucking bold letters right. I mean, capital letters right there. People finna be centering the shit out themselves, and shit ain't got nothing to do with them. People do it all the time, but you finna see this shit real dramatic, especially during this Leo season. I'm telling y'all right now. Be mindful that that's not you. Don't be centering your shit and self, that shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. That is not affecting the way you eat, sleep, shit, get your money, or none of that shit. You just emotionally connected and divested into some shit that is delusional. Tell you right now. That is not you being an advocate for the fucking collective, because you ain't gonna change a goddamn thing being mad, sitting in the house and upset. And whoever you talking about mad, you trying to fight for, they got a whole GoFundMe going on and all kind of other shit. And then 2 weeks later, you learn that they ain't who they said they was. They lying, they faking. Oh my God, they was doing this for that. Like, oh, you got now you mad at them because you got emotionally invested. Don't be one of these people, okay? So ask yourself, where am I afraid to be seen? Where am I addicted to being seen? Which community reflects my future? Which community only conforms my past? Am I contributing or merely consuming? What gift have I been withholding because I fear group judgment? What role am I ready to stop performing? Okay. Now, with the nervous system aspects, Aquarius is often associated symbolically with electrical currents, networks, and the nervous system. Leo corresponds with the heart and the central life force. So the full moon can feel like tension between electrical mind and emotional heart. Okay? Think about this now. That's why I've been talking about the mind and the heart living in the head is gonna crave in the heart. This is where this comes into play. Okay. So you could experience mental overstimulation, social fatigue, sudden insights, difficulty sleeping, a need for social or need for emotional space, increased sensitivity to technology, excitement about the future, anxiety about change, intense reactions to group dynamics. Don't be tripping if you start to feel a little off around people and shit. It's just this energy reminding you of your individuality and trying to bring some coherence between those neurological networks. All right, the electrical current of so when we're dealing with the medicine, it's called embody or left behind. Don't be simple. Okay, speak in my mental health hat. Okay, don't feed into the narratives that your mind can create that are not immediate in your reality. Thin line between insecurity and intuition. Thin line between your nervous system being all jacked up versus your intuition telling you something. Okay? Discernment, coherence is the key. Do not let the heart demand attention so loudly that reason disappears. You want to be heard so bad, felt so bad, seen so bad that you don't even care no more. A lot of Leos go through that. Regulate before announcing, ground before posting, rest before interpreting, exhaustion as intuition. Okay. Now I'm gonna go off into this part right quick. This is definitely like the main theme of the workshop, but I definitely want to touch on the essence of the cosmos, and this is what I'm kind of seeing from this. We're leaving performance and keeping the heart because it's not about becoming somebody new. It's remembering who you were before you learned to perform for love. They got us romanticizing for every guy with everything for everything out here, y'all. This Aquarius full moon opposite the sun is exposing one of the greatest spiritual illusions of our time. The belief that being seen is the same as being known. This is one of the hugest misnomers that we can have in this reality. People think because people see you all the time, man, they even got, don't you know they have a helmet syndrome for NFL players? Because a lot of them suffer a lot because they don't feel as known because they wear their helmets a lot. Don't you know it's one of the main reasons why they got to keep their helmets on the field, on the side. But how many football players play football versus how many of them do you actually know? So I'm just telling y'all how this plays out in real life and how don't get me on social media. I ain't gonna go that far. We can see that. I ain't got to break that down. Okay. See, many people are visible, but very few are truly witnessed. Many people are successful. Very few feel safe enough to be authentic. Many people have followers. Very few have genuine community. I love the community I have, man. I'm telling you, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for real, because it's a lot of people that I just love my community, man, for real, like straight up. See, this full moon is asking us to separate performance from presence. A lot of people ain't done this yet, but that's why I said the moon, the planets got me now. I'm smiling. I'm telling you, I got my popcorn ready. I ain't got no sympathy for none of these performing motherfuckers, cause I'm telling you right now, I got no sympathy for them, cause they been in my way. I'm shit. I'm very Leo-ish with this shit. Get out of real line way. So, what is the performance? Let's begin with one question, y'all. When did you first learn that being yourself wasn't enough? Not intellectually, emotionally. When you can somebody y'all if I want to answer that, put in the chat. I'm just thinking about that. If anybody even want to just if something was burning in your chest the way you want to see it, I ain't even tripping. When did you begin believing that acceptance had to be earned? Sometimes you might not even know when this shit started. It might be hard for you to remember back that far. This is what going this is inner child work, okay? Because every performance has an origin story. Some learned it as children. You became the good child, the funny one, the responsible one, the peacemaker, the caretaker, the overachiever, the invisible one, the strong one. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of us became all of them. A lot of us became all of them through stages throughout our life. All right. None of these are identities, though. They're survival strategies. Performance is simply a version of yourself created to receive safety, love, or approval. We all have done it. The ego isn't evil. The ego is often a younger version of you trying to keep you alive, god damn it. See, people be trying to demean the ego. I guarantee your ego still attached to some shit that somebody said or somebody did to you. And now people running around, they think you this, they think you that. Really, you just you're hurt, it's just a hurt little child. I ain't for awareness. Cancer season brought us home. Cancer new moon didn't ask, what do you want? It asked, why did you want it? See, when Mercury rules the universe wanted drama, it was bringing old emotional memories back because your nervous system still had unfinished conversations. Not necessarily with the person or with the people in general, but with yourself. Cancer revealed family conditioning, a lot of that type of shit we talked about earlier. Cancer said it healed the child. Leo became confused with familiarity. Cancer said it healed the child. Leo reveals the adult. Now, Leo asks, who are you without the mask? Leo is often misunderstood. People think Leo wants attention. Healthy Leo doesn't. A healthy expression of Leo don't give a fuck about people attention. I get y'all probably ain't met a lot of them, but I know some, okay? Healthy Leo wants expression. There's a difference. Attention asks, look at me. Expression asks, this is who I am. Expression says, this is who I am. Honesty. Aquarius asks, one final question. Once you remember yourself, who will you become in community? Aquarius asks one final question. Once you remember yourself, who will you become in community? See, Aquarius isn't asking you to disappear. It's asking or isn't asking you to stop shining. It's asking you, can you shine without making your light dependent on someone else's darkness? We live in a reality to where people will thrive off other people's darkness. Hence, gossip is the new form of communication. People will share your darkness. 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 This is the new form of communication. Go through some. See, it used to be just around the neighborhood. Motherfuckers in your neighborhood. They. But now, yeah, go through some shit and let the wrong motherfucker know it. Man, I'm telling y'all, motherfucker be calling you bro and sis and all of this shit. Confide in them if you want to. Your motherfucking ass to be content. Motherfuckers will make you content so quick these days. See, so motherfuckers will make they light depending on somebody else's darkness. Just make sure it's not you. See, we wear these four masks. This is what I wanted to. It's kind of like the way I see this shit. The approval mask. Need everyone to talk to me. This creates people pleasing, over explaining, weak boundaries, emotional exhaustion. A healing question for this is, what if disagreement isn't rejection? The success mask. I must accomplish more to deserve love. Now achievement becomes identity, but become rest becomes guilt. Productivity becomes worthiness. Healing question for this: when who am I when I'm not producing? Hmm. The spiritual mask. This one is dangerous right here. It sounds like I'm healed. I've transcended that. I'm above emotions. I'm always high vibration. Meanwhile, your nervous system is screaming, healing. Healing isn't pretending. Healing is integrating. I'm gonna tell you, I've been here, and a lot of people heard me talk like I had to put this in here because people heard me talking. I've had a lot of people attack me. I've had a lot of people try to come for me, really, like straight up. I don't really think it can't be that here. Ain't nobody healed. Ain't nobody this. Ain't nobody that. What you mean your emotions don't consume you? What you mean they don't overwhelm you no more? What you mean high vibrations, beautiful soul? Why you always saying high vibration? I'm just saying, like you really think about. And if I'm speaking healing time, people think that now this nigga talking like he God or he not. That shit don't mean that. We've become so ingrained in experiencing a human experience from some type of low vibrational aspect to where you now the thought of this is one thing. This shit sounds good in rehearsal. You'll tell when somebody's not living in this shit because they'll always be detached, not want to deal with people, don't like people, all kind of shit. So it's so many things that come with this shit. But healing is always about integrating. All right. And shit. Some of my main things is integrating off into people and then shit having to realize I gotta be okay with getting my heart broke. You know? I realized I had to be okay with getting my heart broke and I'm okay. Break my heart. It's okay. I'ma leave it with you. I ain't even trying to get it back, you know, because I showed up in love, I showed up as love. All right. So the strong mask, many of us wear this one. I don't need anybody. I got it. I'm fine. I figured it out. Strength became armor. Healing asks, what if softness is your greatest strength now? See, sometimes just learning that everything ain't your fight, everything ain't about you always trying to do this and do that. Sometimes it's just about you just allowing and surrendering, you know. So Leo in the shadow, because Leo becomes distorted when the heart forgets itself. The shadow Leo says, I need applause. Healthy Leo says, I need authenticity. Shadow Leo compares. Healthy Leo creates. Shadow Leo competes. Healthy Leo contributes. Shadow Leo performs confidence. Healthy Leo embodies confidence. See, Aquarius is shadow, right? It's called detachment, right? We always know talk about that. People think they're protecting themselves, and really they're protecting the mass. They say, I don't care, I don't need anyone. I'm different. I'm misunderstood. But underneath it is fear of intimacy, fear of disappointment, fear of vulnerability. Aquarius reminds us that connection isn't weakness. Dependency is different from connection. That's all that is. You know, sometimes you can have a connection with somebody. It don't mean that you dependent on them just because you got a connection to them. God damn. Motherfucker create a connection. Oh shit, I'm becoming dependent. You know what I'm saying? That's how the spiritual shit. Oh shit, I'm liking you too much. Like, god damn. You know, I've raised my hand. I've been there too. Okay. See, Pluto asks, who are you without the audience? Pluto retrograde in Aquarius removes the audience. Imagine no likes, no followers, no comments, no applause. I've been experiencing this. I'm telling y'all straight up. I got Pluto and Libra, and especially with this undertime, especially with my Jupiter and Leo, because the algorithm ain't been too friendly towards me. So I've been like, no likes, no comments, no validation. Would you still create every goddamn day? Would you still serve? I'm doing it right motherfucking now. Would you still become every goddamn second? Because purpose existed before the platform, before I gained any type of notoriety, before people started to really, I had a sense of who the fuck I was and my purpose before I got into these platforms and shit, you know. So I wasn't even on Instagram like that. So when you think about the embodiment of how far you came, ask yourself these questions under this full moon. I'm just showing y'all what it looks like. That's it. Cause the nervous system don't like authenticity. People ain't gonna tell you this shit. I'm telling y'all right now, man. I'm speaking shit that I done live, man. You know, because I didn't know, I thought authenticity was just me being able to tell somebody something. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if it came down to it, if I had to tell, if I had to be real, I consider myself real, but it was like certain things I probably wouldn't say, especially I move by street code. So certain things I probably wouldn't talk about. I didn't feel like everything was everybody bit. I didn't know I was emotionally avoiding when there was certain conversation that came up and I said I didn't want to talk about it. And I thought that was me being real. I thought that was because I'm saying I don't want to talk about it. No, it wasn't until I started opening up like a goddamn flower and crying, and this is what authenticity feels like. Yeah, cause vulnerability gotta die. You know, your nervous system don't like authenticity because vulnerability has to die. It gotta die. See, at first, your nervous system don't like. It doesn't prioritize happiness. You gotta rewire this shit. Your nervous system must stop prioritizing your happiness. You prioritize your survival. It prioritizes familiarity. If you spend 30 years performing, authenticity feels unsafe. Not because it is, but because it's unfamiliar. Your body may interpret authenticity as danger. This is why most people sabotage themselves immediately after breakthroughs. Ah, I did this and all of a sudden I went back to the body says, I've never been here before. Healing says, I know. Stay any motherfucking way. You see what I'm saying? That's what healing says. I know. I'm not my mind. I'm not my body. I'm going to stay here in this space until it's comfortable. And then I'm ready to grow after that too. See, this is why performance can become burnout because you're constantly monitoring what do they think? Was that okay? Did I say enough? Did I say too much? People actually say this out their mouth when they talk. If this is you, if you one of the people that say this kind of stuff in mid conversation, put a one in the chat. I want to see who will be accountable and authentic. Okay. If you're one of these people who deals with this, and I just said if you say it out your mouth, because I can literally have conversation with people and they said, did what I said too much? Did I say too much? Damn, I wonder what they'll think. Was that okay? Was what I said okay? Like, it's not a bad thing. I'm not demonizing this. This is showing you where you're performing. That's it, okay? Performance requires surveillance. You always surveilling yourself when you're performing. And then when I say some shit like, I ain't really, man, this shit can be so tiring. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Cause people in their feelings and then you trying your best and you don't want to be seen as a certain way. And it's like you over here dealing with this on a different level because you are aware that everybody else is dealing with this shit. Now you gotta make sure you're not performing. That's why I said the nervous system don't like this shit. People can, man, I'll tell y'all, people ain't gonna tell you this shit. To always be aware that people are feeling what they feeling, thinking what they feeling, and you still show up and still be you, and it don't affect the way you talk, the way you speak. I done been in business and somebody walked into my business and said, you sound so good, but you just cuss so much. I started to say, fuck you, old bitch. But hey, I didn't do that, you know? I just said, thank you. Have a good day. I'm just saying, it's always a constant surveillance with throughout your day. How many times are you not surveilling yourself? See, performance requires surveillance. Presence requires awareness now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This the flip side now. I'm finna take you somewhere. Y'all know I'm taking you somewhere, right? I'm almost done. Okay, appreciate y'all. And don't forget if you want to send a donation, my cash app is $sensei9. If you have it or whatever, if you want to send a donation, if you want to get this PDF, of course it's $22, like I said. And if you want to get the $99 transit reader, make sure you get it. I can get it to you tonight. You will have that PDF, the full moon energy will be present for the next 3 days. All right, it's kind of how full moon energy goes. But of course, anybody that has gotten a breakdown from me, I carry you for over the next 7 to 14 days. All right, depending on how I recognize the cycles that are going on in your life. Okay, so when we're dealing with presence, requires awareness. See, one exhausts you, one liberates you. Aha. See, once you see it, how many times will you have to say it again if it was truthful and it was honest and it was pure and it was authentic? You ain't got to say it again. You won't get exhausted because you won't repeat yourself. You won't have to surveil yourself when you know damn well you are saying what needs to be said, so you won't have to keep revisiting the same shit in your own head. People think it be for them. This is for me. I'm checking this shit for me. I'm not gonna keep revisiting this shit. I don't care how you want me to keep revisiting it with you. I'm not gonna keep doing that. Okay, so let me shut it down. See, the heart already knows. The heart never learned performance. Only the mind did. The heart doesn't ask, how do I impress them? The heart asks, how can I love truthfully? The heart doesn't ask, how do I become enough? It already knows it is enough. See, Leo rules the heart. Leo isn't about ego, it's about courage. Do you know what courage actually means? The words come from the Latin core. Core of the word is core. Damn, I forgot to highlight that. Core, the heart. Courage literally means to live from the heart. That's all courage means. It's why people be searching for courage. Now you see we got a bunch of cowardly lions running around out here. People don't live from their heart, so they gotta find courage. Don't miss this shit now. Not from fear, not from performance, not from approval, from the heart. Aquarius rules the future. The future cannot be built by performers. It ain't gonna happen. It will be built by authentic people willing to collaborate. Not perfect people, authentic people. People who can say, I don't know, I made a mistake, I've changed, I'm still healing. This is real relationship and leadership. Don't you know how much shit can be so simple? You ain't gotta keep cut. Man, listen, if you dealing with somebody, and this is easy, cause this can liberate you. You ain't gotta block nobody. You ain't gotta do none of this shit. You ain't gotta go around. If you tell a motherfucker, I've changed, I'm still healing, I'm going through this. If you make it about you instead of them, and you ain't doing this to mask some type of real conversation you really want to have, see, don't let people fool you. I'm gonna tell you, there's people in the spiritual community good at this shit. Oh my God, they are good at this shit. Oh, I'm just this, and then they go back and tell somebody I ain't fucking with them because they this and da. And then it's like, well, damn, you could have said that. I thought we was all healing her. Love us, love us. Nah, bitch, I don't love all y'all. See, this is real leadership, man, when you're able to have these type of conversation with people. Anybody that's done been around me, any type of conflict, I'm big on conflict resolution, man. So I'm just making this point because my Jupiter's in Leo, my Gemini energy, my Scorpio moon. I'm always big on, if we say we're loving, if you say you my brother, if you say you my sister, if you say you love me, give me the opportunity to correct myself. Give me the opportunity to evolve. Give me the opportunity to become more loving. Give me the opportunity to become more aware of myself. Don't allow me to hear from somebody else. Don't join those people. Don't join the list of people that I gotta be like, fuck them people. Cause I ain't gonna block you. I ain't gonna do none of that. You gonna end up doing it to me before I end up doing it to you. I guarantee you that. Okay. So I wanted to give some reflection exercise, of course. You can close your eyes. You could take 3 slow breaths. All right. If y'all want to do it with me, we can do it together as we're getting ready to close out. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow, deep breaths in through your nose. One more. One more. Ask yourself, what version of me receives the most applause? Now ask yourself if that version of me, the real me. If not, who have I been protecting? All right. The audience or the wounded child inside of me. Let the breath go, breathe it out, slow breath out. Trust whatever came up, okay? Whatever your mind, whatever your body revealed to you, trust that. Here's some more things about what the chakras are being activated, of course, how it's touching all of the chakras, safety within, changing communities. Can I belong without being dependent upon approval? There are some things here on the sacral chakra. Of course, I have a candle ritual here. I had to put this in here, especially with this energy. For those of you who may be interested in purchasing this PDF and you're not going to get this personal transit breakdown, you can definitely get this personal transit breakdown. You can definitely get this ritual and some embodiment practices here, all right, that I have popping off here in this PDF, okay? And as you can see, right now in any role, you ready to retire, the fixer, the rescuer, the perfectioner, any of these roles. These are the themes around this moon, okay? Um, Being able to choose again, and even some of these embodiment practices are here for you all as well. All right. And then I have in closing, this Aquarius full moon is not merely bringing an emotional cycle to completion. All right. It is announcing a new evolutionary era. Cancer brought us into the emotional home. Mercury retrograde helped us reread the family story. Leo season brought the heart back into the light. Now Aquarius asks, "What are you doing? What are you going to do with the person you have become?" The North Node in Aquarius is is opening the road towards collective intelligence, new communities, new technologies, and new ways of organizing power. The South Node in Leo is stripping away every performance of greatness that cannot survive accountability. The Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is exposing the shadow inside of our systems, networks, groups, and identities. The moon beside Pluto is revealing what we have hidden beneath detachment. The sun with Jupiter is expanding our courage, creativity, and desire to be seen. Saturn retrograde is asking whether our leadership has structure. Uranus is rewriting the language of the future. Neptune is dissolving the fantasy of the long savior. And this full moon stands between the lion and the water bear, saying, "You are not given light merely to become admired. You are given light so something larger can become visible through you." You do not dim your heart to serve the collective. You do not exploit the collective to feed the heart. Become the bridge. Stand full inside your uniqueness. Then pour what you have learned into the world without damaging the world that revolve around you. That is mature Leo. That is awakened Aquarius. That is the lunation before us. Lead the performance, keep the heart. Question the system, find the community. Share the power, build the future. So that is the workshop, beautiful souls. Um, I appreciate you all for being here. Let me get back to the screen right quick. So I appreciate you all for being here. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did learn something new about these energies, or even understanding about how these energies play out deeper in your chart, in your life, just put a fire emoji in the chat for me, okay? And if, like I said, if you do want to book your session or your $99 transit breakdown, make sure you book that, okay? And once again, I appreciate you all for your time, your energy, and all that good shit. And make sure if you do uh want to, because I am going to launch a collective, a conscious community. I'm going to launch a conscious community. All right. You know, I can't be talking about doing this, and I got to build my own community. So I'm going to be talking about a conscious community. I'm going to be doing some things around group economics. And so I'm going to be inviting some people in. So I got some people in mind. So if some of y'all start hearing from me, I'm going to start building this thing out, so we can really make some real things happen. So if that's something you are interested in, don't hesitate to reach out to me if you want to be a part of it. But I am going to start putting some things together here, and we're going to build a conscious community. We're going to be doing around group economics, finance, and we're going to be doing some land, real estate. We ain't going to just be sitting around meeting and trauma bonding all goddamn day. We ain't going to do that. We're going to make some real moves. All right. I know some real people about some real things. I think it's time that I really get involved in that. All right. So I appreciate
Sensei,
you all. Talk to me. What's
Sensei.
up, Silver?
Peace, beloved. I just want to ask you to confirm your avatar for your Cash App. I put a picture in the chat. I want to make sure that's you,
Hold
even
on.
though it says Sensei
Oh,
9.
yeah, that's it.
All right, thanks.
That Galaxy. That's it. Yep, that's it, beloved. Thank you. And I re-put the tag in there for anybody else who's feeling generous. I appreciate the love. All right. And once again, I say this is not what I do, is who I am. Okay. So at the same damn time, my Saturn and Virgo and shit, like, nigga, this your work too. This your job. So, I'm clocking in when I do these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But my payout is you becoming the best version of yourself, along with some reciprocation into my bank account. Okay. So if you want to book a service, if you want to get this PDF, make sure you hit me up, and make sure you get that $99 transit reading if you want that before the night is up, so I can have it to you by tomorrow or even by late in the wee hours of the morning. Okay. So appreciate you all. Enjoy y'all nights and enjoy the full moon. Peace.